Check this out. I have my MacBook in here. Gonna put it in this stand. Then I have one USB-C cable in here. Going to plug it in. Open my computer with Touch ID. And my entire station is going to turn on. This includes 2 monitors, Stream Deck, mouse, and also 2 speakers. So the reason I was able to plug all of these accessories into displays at the same time to my laptop with one cable is because of this docking station from Acasis, which I got for free in exchange of making this video. So let me share with you everything you need to know about this docking station if you are interested to buy it for yourself. So first of all, the price for this docking station is only $180 on Amazon. Links are going to be down below. And I think this is a really fair price considering this is Thunderbolt 4, and also you get so many ports at the same time, which I'll share more about a bit later on in the video. But first of all, in terms of like materials, the build quality is absolutely fantastic. It is entirely made of metal pretty much, and everything feels extremely solid and premium. And then in terms of like size, here is how it compares to my iPhone 16 Pro Max. Just for reference, I think it is pretty compact. Here is how much it weighs. About 500 grams. And then here at the bottom you have like rubber padding, so you'll be able to put this dock on your desk basically, and it won't easily at least move around. Unfortunately though, this rubber padding is only at the bottom of the docking station, not in here or in here, so you won't be able to put it easily on your desk without having it like moving around, as you can see. Personally, I prefer having this docking station in this orientation, and I wish we had the option to somehow, you know, lock it in place, if you will. I'm probably gonna do something DIY with like 3M tape or whatnot, but that's definitely something worth considering. All right, now let's take a look at all of the ports this docking station offers. First of all, you get a HDMI port that supports up to 8K 60 frames per second, but that's only when using one display. If you're going to use 2 displays, you'll be able to use only 4K 60 at each display with a Mac. If you're using Windows, that's going to be 3 displays at the same time. And then in here you have 3 USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports basically. One of them is the one you use to plug this docking station to your computer basically. And then in here you have the power port to plug this docking station to the outlet. You have a LAN port up to 2.5G, 2 USB 8 10 gigabits per second ports, a headphone port, a mic port, and finally a USB-C 10 gigabits per second port. And then on the other side you get like a power button, a UHS 2 SD card slot, and then a micro SD card slot, another headphone jack, a USB-C port with PD 30 watt charging, and then 4 USB-A ports. 2 of them are USB 2. The other 2 are 10 gigabits per second, as you can see. And finally, you get extra 2 USB-C ports with 10 gigabits per second transfer speeds. Honestly, I think this docking station offers more than enough ports to plug pretty much anything you need. I'm using 2 displays, 2 monitors basically, speakers, Stream Deck, mouse, and also have like 2 USB-C cables always plugged into this docking station, just in case if I want to plug in a camera or something like that and quickly transfer data to my computer. And I still have some ports to spare to plug in extra accessories if I want to. Alright, but now let's talk about the overall performance of this docking station. Personally, I've been using it for about 2 or 3 weeks with my Mac, and I do have some things to share just for you to consider before buying this docking station for yourself. So first of all, obviously, like I said, if you're using a Mac, you'll be able to only use 2 displays at the same time with this docking station. If you're using Windows, that's 3 displays at the same time. And then this USB-C port in here supports pass-through charging up to 90 watts, but sometimes this docking station gets a little bit hot, and because of that the charging wattage drops to about 70 watts or like 80 watts. I actually have like a tool on my Mac to measure all of that, and usually it happens when you transfer lots of data through this docking station to your computer at the same time. So that's definitely another thing to consider. And also, like you saw in the beginning of the video, when you do plug the cable from this docking station to your computer, it takes about 15 to 20 seconds for everything to turn on, which is not a lot, but I'm not really sure how it compares to other docking stations on the market. But honestly, my biggest issue, not issue, but my biggest complaint about this docking station is that when I use one of these USB-C ports in here or even in here on the back with my SSD, for example, which is like an SSD from Samsung, the T7 Shield, it supports up to 10 gigabits per second transfer speed, so not even Thunderbolt 4. But basically, when I use this SSD with this docking station, it takes about 30 to 40 seconds for it to reach its full speeds when transferring data. So initially, basically, you'll get like extremely slow transfer speeds, and then after like 30 seconds or 40 seconds, you'll get the full speeds of your SSD. And sometimes it also happens when I transfer data through this SD card slot or even through my like pocket camera from DJI. Sometimes it takes a little bit for it to like warm up, register the camera. I'm not really sure what's happening behind the scenes, but it's definitely something annoying because I'm so used to like plug in a cable to my laptop and then get the full speeds right away. All right, so to summarize, I think honestly for just $180, this is a pretty solid docking station. We have lots of ports to choose from. The build quality is fantastic, and for the most part, it works reliably, if you will. Yes, it is kind of annoying that you can only position it like in this orientation without having it moving around rather than this orientation, which I personally prefer. And also the initial slow transfer speeds when plugging an SSD through this docking station is a bit annoying. Doesn't happen all the time, like I said, but when it does, it becomes a bit annoying. But overall, for the price of this docking station, I think you're getting a pretty good deal. So if you are interested, links are going to be down below. Thank you, Acasis, for sending this over for review. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.